Hi and welcome to session 8, where we're going to start looking at screen capture. So we're going to just have a quick review of the video creation process and see where we are in that at the moment. We're then going to talk about the various different types of screen capture software that are available. We're going to look at the proper preparation for doing screen capture. And then we're going to actually walk through and do various different types of screen capture so we can see how it all comes together. So we looked at this last week, the video creation process. If you remember, we start by writing a script and we use all of the tools that we've already talked about to do this. Then we create our PowerPoint. Then we record our voiceover, which is where we got to last week. Now what we need to do is capture the slides in synchronization with that voiceover, and then we actually need to produce the video, which we'll do next week. Okay, so we've done that, we've got our PowerPoint, we've got our voiceover. Now we're going to capture these slides. Now, I call this our secret weapon, screen capture software. A lot of people who don't know about this think the only way you can do a video is either to spend a lot of money with an animator, and yeah, an animator will do a great job and will produce a fantastic looking video, but it'll be really expensive. Or they do something by just pulling a whole load of images into a video editing package and they produce what we've already done, the image only videos. And maybe they try and put some text over the top of it, but it ends up just not looking that tidy, not looking that professional. And I believe that the strength of an internet marketing video comes from using screen capture software and using it well. And that's what I'm going to try and teach you in this session. So there's various pieces of software. If you're using a PC, there is a free option. It's called Cam Studio. And if you go to their website at camstudio.org, you can actually figure out a little bit about the background of where it came from. Now there's a couple of challenges with it. First of all, it's PC only, so there's no Mac version of this. And secondly, there are some challenges with certain browsers, particularly with Firefox. There's ways around it, but they tend to be sort of hacks and workarounds. And there's no editing with this. Basically, you get one take, and if you do it wrong, then that's it. Tough, basically. So it's not ideal, but if you're on a real tight budget, it is enough to get you started. There is another free option, which is called Jing. And for me, the coolest thing about Jing is the user interface, which is this sort of sun, which it kind of sits on your desktop, and you actually just get these little circles appearing until you put your mouse over it, and the whole thing springs up like a sun in the middle of your desktop. Now, you can get this from techsmith.com/Jing, or just Google the Jing project. And as well as doing video capture, it also does screen capture, like screenshots. So if you want to get a still image of something, you can use this software to do that. And it's quite powerful. It's quite good at doing it. It is, however, limited to just 5 minutes of screen recording. It only gives you an SWF format, which is the flash format, which is okay, but it's, as we talked about a few weeks ago, it's not as versatile as MP4. And you get some Jing branding on it, which again isn't ideal when we're looking to do marketing videos with it. Now, there is a paid version available, and that adds MP4 video output. It takes all the branding away. It gives you a facility to upload directly into YouTube, and will also let you incorporate footage directly from your webcam. And at the moment, that's costing $14.95 a year, so it's not the world, and it may do the job for you, but I just think it's not very flexible. I mean, again, it's a one-take situation. So for the flexibility that we're looking for, we really need to be looking at paid software. The one that I use is Camtasia Studio. There are Mac and PC versions, although for some reason the PC version seems to be a bit more powerful than the Mac version. It's used by the majority of the top marketers, especially the guys who are PC based. It is extremely versatile, and we'll look at some of these things later on, some of the things you can do with it. And whilst it's relatively expensive to buy, I think it's about $300, there is a 30-day trial, so you can have a play around with it, see whether it works for you, and then make a decision whether you want to invest in it. If you're on the Mac, there is something equivalent to Camtasia, which is called ScreenFlow. This is Mac only. However, it is a significantly lower price. It's about a third of the price of Camtasia. It is very, very versatile. And again, there are trials available if you want to have a look at that. So, I used to get taught the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. In fact, I had an instructor that was quite tough, and he said there were 6 Ps. Proper preparation prevents particularly poor performance. But I left that one out. So we need to be prepared before we start doing the recording. Again, a lot of people, they come up with a few slides, they bung it on Camtasia, and they just talk over them randomly. And you can tell, the end result is a poor video. So what we want to do is we want to prepare properly for it so that we can create the video in the minimal amount of time and get the maximum impact out of it. The first thing that we need to do is we need to prepare our script. So if you remember a few weeks ago we did the Learn Piano Online script. What I've now done is I've printed it out and I've gone through it and I've put a red dash or a red slash everywhere where I need to press the button to advance my slides in PowerPoint. So now when I'm listening to the voiceover, I can follow along on the script, and every time I come to a red slash, I hit the button and we advance to the next slide. And what that means is when I'm doing the recording, I can be very, very slick about getting the animation lined up with the voiceover. Just to give you a closer look of this, so here's the beginning of the script. So literally I'm going through right as it starts. Picture yourself 12 months from now. So as it says picture, I'm hitting the button. We bring the first picture up. Entertaining a group of your friends around the piano, that slash. So there, hit the button. You're playing like a maestro. Hit the button. Okay? So I've gone through and I've practiced over and over again just playing my PowerPoint and fine-tuning where I need these slashes to be. Once I've got this down, now I can go over and I can play the PowerPoint as many times as I want and always know exactly when I need to advance to the next slide. So in order to use this, we also need to prepare the PowerPoint. The first thing we need to do is we need to go into the slideshow menu and select Setup Show. And it doesn't matter which version of PowerPoint you're on, once you've found the Setup Show option, you'll get a dialog box that looks something like this. And you want to select Browsed by an Individual in a window. So this now, instead of us being forced to have our presentation on a full screen, it allows us to be in control of how big or how small the ultimate presentation is, which means we can tune it to exactly the size that we want for our video. Now for this to work, you need to make sure that the window is not maximized. Okay, so you know if you maximize any application in Windows, certainly on Windows 7 you get this sort of image, and if you click that it goes to a single box, and then you can resize it to your heart's content. So the next thing we need to do, I'm assuming we're using Camtasia here, is we need to set up Camtasia. So we need to set it to 1280 by 720. If you remember from one of the initial sessions that we covered, 1280 by 720 is high definition. And this is perfect for marketing purposes. So if you can see, in this section here, we have our dimensions, and I've set that to 1280 by 720. What this actually does on the screen is it will, as we'll see later, is it gives you a green box, and that is 1280 by 720 pixels. and it allows you then to fit everything into that. So that's what we do next. We actually fit our PowerPoint so that it's just overlapping the edge of that green box. And the reason we want to overlap it is if we try and get it perfect, try and get it just inside the green box, we can end up with a black line around our video. And particularly if we're using a white background, that can look a little odd. So I try and size it so it just spills over the edge, maybe only a couple of pixels all around. So you're not really going to lose anything from the display, but you're guaranteed that your video will fit to the edge all the way around. The other thing that we want to do is we want to say record system audio. So to do that, we come over here where it says audio, where the microphone is. And if this has got a cross against it, by the way, if you just click it, then this will pop out and you'll be able to click this drop down and select record system audio. Now, depending on the configuration of your PC, this option may be grayed out. If it is, what you want to do instead is select a microphone and place that microphone directly in front of a PC. So you're still going to record what's coming out of the speakers, but instead of recording it directly from the system, you're just going to record it through a microphone. And when we come on to actually do the recording, I think it'll become very clear to you why we want to record that system audio. So the next thing we want to do, obviously we're going to record our slide, but we want to record it in sync with our voiceover. And the way to do that is to actually open the voiceover audio in QuickTime. And one of the reasons I like QuickTime is it's very, very accurate. So whatever time it's supposed to be, you can be pretty sure that as long as you haven't got something really weird going on your PC, QuickTime is going to do it. So we then need to make sure, though, that this player is outside of Camtasia's capture area. Because if that's inside the green box, we're going to record it. And we don't want this recorded in the middle of our screen. The other thing that I do is I actually drag it out to full screen width. Not full screen, just width. So I'll position this up to the top left, and then on this little tab in the corner I'll drag it all the way to the right. And the only reason I do that is because it gives me a much better idea of how the timeline is moving across, and I can follow that and use it as a visual cue to see where I am in everything.